G'day you all. In this video what I'm going to demonstrate is a method of how to bash an Australian slouch hat. You can see here on the left hand side we've got the hat that we're going to actually put the bash into. The customer actually asked me to do that on behalf of them. The existing bash wasn't to their liking, was rather high. They felt it looked like something out of Tombstone when they were wearing that. So what we're going to do is put a bash in similar to this hat here, and on the guidelines of this one here. So we're going to make the bash a lot deeper into the hat. What you want to do when you're actually bashing the hat is, when you push the crown in, make sure that this part here of the crown isn't too deep into the hat, because your head will actually put pressure on it and push up on it, and it'll actually spread like that. So you just need to be aware of that when you're bashing the hat. Right, so let's get into it. So the first thing you need to do is take the puggery off, all accoutrements off. You don't need a chin strap on it, just a bare hat. And what I did was I placed it upside down into a bucket of water, and filled it up to the crown and let it soak. I let it sit for 24 hours. That's a good amount of time. It makes the fur felt. This isn't a Cobra, so it's fur felt, nice and soft and easy to work with. So I'll place some photos in there of how you do that. So once you've done that, then it's a matter of using a template, so an existing hat that you've got. Use that as a guide to go off onto. In this case, we need to put the bash a lot deeper into the hat itself. So we're going to incorporate the vents here into the bash. So we're going to have it nice and deep like so. The first thing we need to do is to grab the center of the hat to make sure the bash is sitting central to the hat. If it's not sitting central to the hat, it won't look well when you're wearing it. So the center of the hat is defined by, there's a seam inside the band, leather band inside the hat there that designates where the center is. So that's where you start the center process of. So you make sure you line that up straight. Start it off as so, and then just make sure that it's lined up so that's central. So you can see that's pretty much central to the hat itself. And from there we can go on and craft the hat. So once we've placed the center seam in there, then you can work on through it. It's all about symmetry. In this instance we want to incorporate the vents into the bash as well. So we just start off with a rough outline on how we want the bash to sit. And it's all about symmetry, so it's about placing the bash in and making sure everything is central. And I like to have a pinch on both ends. To me it makes the hat look a lot better. Easily when you can grab it as well by these things. That's what it's there for. The bash is actually there to grab, I believe anyway. And it doesn't take too long to line it all up. And just have a look on the inside, make sure it looks okay. Alright, once you get to the basic outline, you just keep making little slight adjustments until you're happy with the shape. Always use another slouch hat to make sure it doesn't look too outlandish. Once you've got the design that you like, then you can go on with stiffening it, which we'll go on in a minute. One of the things you do need to make aware of is, like I said before, you don't want to make the crown too deep into the hat, because once you wear it it'll actually spring out. So once you've got to the particular shape that you want, just place it on your head as if you'd normally wear it, and then have a look in the mirror and see how much that bash actually spreads. Alright, so we'll go on and just make some further adjustments with that, and then I'll bring you back for rounding out of the hat. Okay, here we go, back with the finished product. Didn't take us too long to get it into shape. It's quite easy to do, and it's nice and wet and damp, easy to mould. Just place the puggery on that to make sure that the bash isn't too deep and the puggery doesn't impede upon the dash, which it doesn't. It looks okay. Just for the filing touches now, just to make it dry in the hard state. You can use methylated spirits to spray on there to make it nice and hard. In this case, what we're going to use is some starch, and just spray that onto the hat itself where we've bashed it. And whilst it's once we spray the starch on there, it'll dry in with the moisture. And we can just spread that around with our finger, just to make sure all the starch goes into where it should be on the hat, and dry in place. Right, just to finish off the stiffening aspect of the bash, we're just going to spray with a light spray of methylated spirits. Okay, and just work that into the hat. It should dry nicely. Then once it's dried, for the final pieces, we're just going to give the hat itself on the bash where we fixed it up, a nice spray with the water shield, and then to top it all off after that, we'll go on with ironing the brim and give that back to the customer in a nice solid state as well, so she'll get a nice finished product. Top it off as well, and to throw it in as a deal, we also have the Australian Slouch Hat press and carriers, so they're available as well. We'll keep these iconic items of uniform in a parade ready state. So there we have it, how to bash Australian Slouch Hat. Hope you find that helpful. The key points there is to make sure that the actual bash is in symmetry with the centre of the hat, and that is always placed to the rear. Well, thanks for your time. Bye.